This show is known for putting its foot in its mouth, and we did it again.
No, we didn't.
Dicks, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Our mouths are open fucking holes. Put in whatever garbage you have.
We did it again, though. I always feel bad when the person is a fan of the show or knows well, we don't know them.
Oh, right, yeah.
Sam related a story to us right before the show today.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel bad.
What was the story?
Just because he's supposedly he is or was a huge fan of our radio show. Still is.
Yes.
One of the guys in SNL is a huge fan of the Opie and Anthony show.
Not one of the guys.
Not hold on, but before the big reveal.
Sure.
There are times where people go, "Oh, I'm a big fan of you guys," and then you ask a couple questions innocently, and you realize that they're just saying that. It's bullshit.
When I finished talking to this person,
you had no doubt he's a big fan.
I said, "Nice to meet you," and he said, "It's great to put a face with the voice."
Oh no, with your voice?
My voice.
So he's a fan of yours too.
Yeah.
He's a big.
Be nice to put something interesting with the voice.
Before the big reveal, what made him a big fan? What were some of the things he told you?
Well, this person, he's a performer, obviously, and he's been a fan for a long time.
Okay.
Like
NEW days?
NEW days. Like his first, one of his first acting gigs. He played just like a background janitor, and it was with Richard Grieco or something like that.
Ooh.
And
just name dropping.
He skipped it. He didn't show up to perform because he was listening to the Voyeur Bus.
Oh.
And he couldn't leave
One
his
of his
radio.
first acting gigs. His first acting gig.
Yeah, one of his very
That was
early.
Frank Vincent. Bad guest guy.
The Voyeur Bus was very captivating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we paid them $1 million, we could start playing that audio again.
He used to go to your
They're holding
show.
us up for our
Oh,
fucking
God, we never
tapes.
played the Voyeur Bus.
$1 million?
Well, that's what they start at. I'm like, what are you, crazy? Who has $1 million laying around?
I do, but I can't spend it on that.
He used to go to your show events.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
He used to go to events.
Yeah. He's been to strip clubs to see you guys.
Dance?
I didn't know you did that. No, I thought it was just.
Oh, I mean,
I didn't.
Oh, well.
Before my time, I guess.
Isn't that awkward?
awkward.
And yeah, now he recently got Sirius XM back, and so he's been.
Wait, what about the Ron and Fez one too? You were telling me. I'm just hammering this home.
He's a huge Ron and Fez fan as well. He's an Opie and Anthony Ron and Fez fan.
Man.
Right.
He approached Ron on the street years
So lucky.
ago.
Hours of entertainment right here on one channel.
All excited.
To say, hey, Ron,
Holy
wow,
fuck, that's
Ron
Ron.
Bennington, I'm a big fan, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
Before anybody knew who he was. Now,
What'd Ron say? With his headphones on, just fist bump him? Hey, buddy. Just
Hey
keep
there,
walking.
buddy. Hey, thanks. Appreciate it.
now he's got Sirius XM back, he said, but he's been, in the meantime, going on YouTube. And going to YouTube to search Opie and Anthony bits.
Oh, boy.
Listen to a couple of the clips.
Listen to some clips.
And then what happened?
He found his name in one of the clips.
Oh, no.
and said, I got to hear this.
We're fucking
Oh,
idiots.
no.
Is a blunder on his part to click that link, though.
Yeah.
We got excited, like, holy fuck. I'm a fan of these guys.
And they're obviously
now-
a fan of mine.
Yeah, because they're talking about me.
Unfortunately, you were not talking about him kindly in the clip that he listened to. And it was a long clip.
Oh.
I believe it was about an hour that day.
Probably.
A good hour beating.
Yeah. Yeah. And he wasn't, by the way, searching for himself. He was searching for you guys just to have a laugh.
And then got excited, like, holy fuck, they talked about me. This is amazing.
This is like a childhood dream come true.
And then he had to hear us bash him for an hour.
That's about right, yeah.
Oh.
And he was in here yesterday?
He was up, yesterday afternoon.
And you talked to him.
I did. I got to interview him.
But how did that come about?
I just had an interview scheduled with him.
Oh, okay. It's Drunken Uncle.
Yeah.
I don't even know his real name.
guy-
Bobby Moynihan.
Bobby
Moynihan.
He's huge
Drunk
on
Uncle.
SNL.
He's been there a while now. He's a staple on SNL.
He's going into his 6th season on the show.
And I guess the bit was, it was at one of those benefits, right?
It was at 12. There's a picture of him
And the
on
garden.
thumbnail.
It was out of context.
Was it the Sandy Relief concert? Okay,
it was the
yeah.
12-12-12 concert.
Yeah, it was
And he went up there with who?
Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah, it was
Meyer.
Seth.
I'm sorry, Seth Meyer. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
So Seth Meyer and him did Drunken Uncle in front of a live audience at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
right?
On stage,
And it bombed.
It went over like a fucking strong breeze. See, because it was Sandy relief.
Yes.
And we had to point out how bad it was.
He followed Kanye West, who also completely took the crowd out of the show.
Kanye West stunk that night. I think that probably hurt these guys. But, you know, look, it wasn't a great bit. And it might be a funny bit on SNL, but in that particular...
It didn't work.
It's hard when you're scripted like that to have to be married to it.
Yeah.
What did we say? We weren't that bad.
No, you were horrible. Yeah, really mean.
Really?
Very mean.
Really?
Oh.
Yes, you were.
It's always hard when you're mean to somebody who likes you.
Yeah, prove that we were mean.
Yeah,
what are you
let me hear a
talking
little
about?
Well,
Let me hear a little bit, you liar.
Billy Joel was on, but the genius
That's
that was
nice.
SNL's Drunk Uncle Anthony came on right after Kanye,
Anthony.
and wow.
SNL should be embarrassed. I was telling
That
Anthony
was it?
before the show. I'm like,
Opie.
Oh, this is
Can
uncomfortable.
I point out that this is not even lighthearted ribbing? You guys are being like,
this is just terrible.
like Opie. You
I
guys
feel really bad now.
You
I
sound
do.
mad. Like, what the fuck was that?
I remember trying to call these guys off and stop the bit, and they wouldn't.
Maybe I just keep playing some more.
Oh, this is so
Oh, really?
terrible.
Yeah. I'll-
And this guy is, and he's a fan of ours, for real.
Not the guy next to Drunk Uncle.
Right.
Drunk Uncle himself is a huge Opie and Anthony fan.
Okay.
Oh, man.
It was.
Was.
our guys came to us and said, "Hey, man, we got this bit. It's called Drunk Uncle." The person would be fired. It's
like, what?
Just a dopey
Jesus,
radio
Opie,
show.
that's harsh.
Shit, that was in front of 2 billion people last night.
Every so often you had to remember.
God.
You had to remember every so often. It's like, oh yeah, this is going out to the world.
Every channel was showing it.
Yeah.
And it just
See,
makes
pause
me
right
feel
there.
like, you know what?
You see how I try to chime in and just give facts?
Yeah, sure.
Come on, guys. Every channel was showing it. Like, let's.
Yeah, you're trying to move on.
Yeah, quit mucking up the works.
Stick to the news here.
Yeah.
Yes. You could be on SNL.
Could do that.
You know what? The person listening to our voices right now, you could be on SNL.
They should have used one of
It turns out the guy is.
Yeah, whoops.
That last night.
Maybe they should use one of Jimmy's bits.
Yeah, that would be the time for it.
Yeah.
I don't watch SNL anymore, so what? Is that one of their benchmark characters? Because that was...
I don't either.
That
Terrible.
I mean, everyone was like, "Holy fuck, Kanye West is out of place, and his sound didn't sound right, whatever." And then he was let off the hook by Drunk Uncle.
Drunk Uncle.
Oh, good.
Oh, you found Drunk Uncle?
Good news.
Oh, boy.
Very good news.
Who plays Drunk Uncle?
Bobby, I think his last name is Moynihan. He's one of the. He's the new chubby guy on SNL.
Ah, the new fat guy.
You
yeah.
know, Horatio Sands.
Body fascism.
Oh my God!
Fascism.
I didn't realize I jumped in on it a little bit.
This is
I wouldn't
so bad.
I wouldn't even care, but now knowing he's a fan of ours,
I
Big
feel
fan, like
bad.
from childhood.
now I care.
Like
I
when
feel bad.
When he was just dreaming of making it,
Right.
like, and just fight it, he was like, well, at least I have my favorite radio show, Opie and Anthony.
Oh, see, I feel
That's all, though. We moved on, I'm sure, right?
Yeah, well, I don't really. This break is just. I knew this
we
was
move
you
on?
guys. I remember not. I kind of liked that bit, and then I'm hearing you guys bash it, and I'm like, all right, I'm in an awkward
right,
position
right.
here.
You did not move on.
You sure?
Let's check the clip.
All right.
Didn't he do one of Jimmy's bits?
I think he was doing the.
He did the first Jimmy bit.
Did he?
Yeah, the construction site
Yeah.
where they're talking to the chicks that are walking by, and it's like
Daniel
the
Craig?
Chipperson kind of bad joke guy.
yeah,
Or
yeah,
bad
yeah.
line
Wasn't
guy,
he doing?
Pause. Remember, we had our suspicions.
Oh, no.
Now we have the connection.
We bashed him. Now we can't accuse him of ripping off.
But we had
Jimmy.
suspicions that this guy ripped off one of Jimmy's bits, and we're like, well, that's crazy. We're big headed. We're being big headed that they would even be paying attention to us. But now it turns out the guy is a fan of the show, so he may have heard Jimmy doing his thing and maybe kind of
Oh, now he's
inspired.
being-
inspired by Jim Norton. He was inspired.
This break started as us, seeing how nasty we were to him, and now we're going to accuse him.
Well, in the end, we stick up for Jim Norton. Because I remember how upset Jimmy was because one of his bits was absolutely on SNL. It was twisted and a little different, and we were like, what the fuck? They got to be listening to us over there.
Yeah, I've had a couple of chip bits
Right.
show up there, and it's very
And
frustrating.
now it turns out the guy is a fan of our show, so it wasn't as far-fetched as we thought at the time.
From the
Yeah.
Chipperson part.
I thought Daniel Craig was doing the Chipperson part.
I think he was, yeah.
Yeah, no,
he was definitely in the skit.
I think he was the lead-off guy. Like,
Yeah, but he was the main
Head
guy.
guy,
With,
yeah.
Okay.
They've come to accept weak lines as okay in SNL. Like really soft. It doesn't have to be dirty or all edgy, but it seems like they've accepted a lot of weaker lines than they should.
Yeah.
Like there's a funnier line you could put there. And they,
Absolutely.
I know it's live TV and it's fucking once a week and it's a lot of work, but some of it I'm like, what are you guys doing? It's awful.
Mm-hmm. Well, what do we listen
Very
to?
fair criticism by me at that point.
Oh, was it?
And non-specific. Who knows who you were talking about?
Yeah, they've come. Who's they? The powers that be have come to accept weak lines. Meaning, I'm saying that the actors probably have much better ideas.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
Specifically
All right.
Bobby Moynihan.
Yeah.
Okay. Really?
Oh, boy.
Something special.
Something special.
And something tells me we're not going to turn around like we did on the Sandler song with this one. Imagine it's so hilarious. We're like, oh, okay.
yeah,
this
wrong
is good.
attitude.
No.
We have blinders on with Sandler. It turned out that song was all right.
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right, let's hear the drunk uncle.
Joining me now is the perfect symbol of the holiday family experience.
Imagine
Please
him
help me in
listening
welcoming
to
Drunk
this.
Uncle. I saw 3 drinks come sailing into my mouth and I spilled on my shirt. Merry Christmas, everyone! All right, give it up for Drunk Uncle, everybody. Hello.
Is he trying to do Artie Lang?
Tell us, do you enjoy the holidays?
It really
you mean
kinda
when I
looks
get
like-
to spend all my money on crap that nobody wants? Hooray for me! Ugh. I mean, what happened, man? Kids used to dress up for Christmas, Seth. You know? Before we opened presents, we had to put on tuxedos and a cake. We had to do it. Nowadays, you can't even say Merry Christmas anymore. You know? You gotta say, hey, baby Jesus, are you on Foursquare? You know? Is there a room at the
Pause.
inn with Wi-Fi?
Were you telling me that, or was the clip
That's
telling
the
me
clip.
that? Oh.
Opie's now eating. Anthony's burying his hands in his face.
Yeah.
And I'm just pinching my shaft.
I'm very embarrassed.
Anthony's humiliated.
I don't. Oh God, this is embarrassing.
I want to hear what we said about it.
That was Opie on the tape saying pause. not now.
Because we had some things to say. We heard enough.
Yeah, apparently we were going to say, like, what a terrible crowd.
Yeah.
Unfair?
Yeah. He knows he's bombing because he's adding the right?
Oh man.
That's a guy going, holy fuck, this is not working.
How did they think
I don't
it
think
would?
you know is in the character. Look at Jimmy's face. He's covering up.
It's
really
painful, right?
uncomfortable. This is in front of 2 billion people.
Oh.
He's bombing.
Bombing. Yes.
It's really uncomfortable, right?
Yeah.
You have that, like, uncomfortable feeling.
But you don't blame the audience either. You're like, yeah, the lines are not
No, the material is not there.
It's terrible. Wow. All right, we're back. That was.
This is now.
All I'm doing is imagining him like searching this out, or searching out an Opie and Anthony, just a
You
random
wanted
bit,
just a fun Opie and Anthony.
and going like, "Oh, cool, they're talking about me." And this is worse than he ever could have expected. Like, this is a terrible deconstruction of his bit.
Jim went out of his way to
Yes.
say you cannot blame the audience.
Right. Just when he's like, well, the audience really wasn't there. And then Jim's like, yeah, you can't blame the audience. It's the
No,
material.
It was bad. I'll say that now. It wasn't a particularly. It was a weird thing. Like it wasn't meant for Madison Square Garden.
No, it wasn't.
No.
Because it's a bit that you're too married to the dial. Like on a stage like that, in that type of an atmosphere, I think you have to have a little more flexibility in what you're doing. You have to be able to. SNL never breaks the wall, and I think in a bit like this, you might have had to break the wall and go, "This is really bombing." Like, it might have been funny if he had
maybe.
addressed it like that. Like, this is going nowhere.
Maybe, yeah.
Let's hear some more, though. I'm sure we pull out of this. It's almost over.
No,
I would much rather have just heard Seth talking about something. Funny or not funny, I would have still been interested to hear it.
Let's, maybe it gets better. Maybe it gets
I
better.
like Seth.
Is there a room at the inn with Wi-Fi? Ugh. Netflix me! Ugh. You know what kids need to put in their Netflix queue? An honest day's work. All right, Drunk Uncle. Now, Were you affected at all by Hurricane Sandy? I mean, my ex-wife was named Sandy. She broke her hip last week.
Is she going to be okay?
I hope not.
Oh, no, come on, Drunk Uncle.
Every marriage ends in tears. Birth. I mean, kids don't even give thanks anymore, Seth. They just give each other Pokemons and HPV.
Oh, Drunk Uncle, that's not nice.
Speaking of HPV, I saw Pearl Jam backstage. That was a nice group of ladies. Jeremy spoke in class today.
Oh, that's good, Drunk Uncle.
Yeah, I mean, the way things are going in this country, Jeremy's going to be speaking Chinese.
All right, Drunk Uncle. I think you're a little too drunk.
Oh. I'm not too drunk. Okay. So I wasn't prom king, okay? So I wasn't the NBA Dream Team, okay?
No, yeah.
So I'm not Jay-Z West, okay? So I'm not Too Fast, Too Furious, Tokyo Drift, okay? Come on, that's not me.
That's not anyone.
All right. All joking aside, here's what you viewers at home need to do. I want you to make a sex tape.
Okay, no.
And send it to Sir Paul McCartney,
No, don't do
care
that.
of England.
Nope.
P.O. Box, England.
Don't
New
do
York,
that.
New York, 100000000000069.
That's not his address.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Enjoy the rest of the show. Drunk Uncle, everybody.
Oh.
1 minute left.
And then you got Jake
Gyllenhaal looking like a fucking homeless guy.
I bombed worse than I remember.
That
really bad, right?
that was horrible.
Oh my God! And all kidding aside, hey, Drunk Uncle, how about you start with a little kidding?
Yeah.
Wow! Did that bomb?
I love that it just made everyone uncomfortable.
Wow.
Made everyone uncomfortable in the room.
Yes.
I see it out there in Radio Land. People are tweeting and on the
you
instant
pause this?
feedback, they're like, oh my God, that's so...
Could you pause this for a second?
We're back
live for this incarnation.
Yep.
Aren't we just doing it over again? Well, aren't we just playing
it again?
And listening how bad it really was?
Yeah. Well, this is the clip that he had.
I know.
He searched out and listened to.
Yeah. And now he'll be like, oh, okay, I talked about it. I addressed it with Sam and you know, told him Sam what a big fan I am. And then now we're just doing it all over again because we're all sitting here listening to the replay of the replay, cringing.
Yeah.
It really did bomb very badly.
Let's see how how we wrapped it up that day.
Okay.
All right. This is about 6 months ago.
And the lines weren't good. That's the problem.
The writing was
They weren't
horrible.
Good.
Did he just make that up, you think, on the spot?
No. That was. It looked like he was reading the teleprompter at one point. He might have went off book a little bit, but it looked fairly, you know. Or maybe he had a cue card guy. I don't know how SNL does it, but ooh.
The weird thing about SNL is they feel like if they can get a character on television multiple times, it's like this cultural thing that people will get. Like it used to be.
Yes.
But it's
Rosanna Dannon.
Exactly.
But it made you laugh back then. Like,
yeah, the material was there. The writing was there. That's a horrible character, and the writing stinks.
We're back live here. It's the day James Gandolfini died. Just in case you're wondering what live we mean.
Well, I just want to hear how bad it was.
Well, you really brought it home.
I
didn't
don't
you?
remember.
But you didn't leave any room for interpretation.
No.
That's a terrible character, and the writing stinks. That's the one that was the nail in his coffin. He's like, well, it was a rough set. It wasn't very good. But you just kind of summed it all up.
You're going out of your way to not only say that it was the wrong place and the wrong
this was
time
before
for
I
that
knew-
character. You're saying the character is terrible, and you said earlier in the clip, if somebody pitched you this character just for this dumb radio show,
Right.
you would fire
I
them.
acknowledge
They'd be
there's-
fired.
I acknowledge it's a dumb radio show. And you know, can I defend myself? This was before I knew that he was a big fan of the Opie and Anthony
That's
show.
what makes it worse.
So
we would have been
open and honest.
Yeah, that was your gut feeling.
We would have smoothed out the edges a little bit that day.
Did you realize you only heard like a murmur from the audience the whole time? It never changed the dynamic of the audience. You never heard, like there was a little bit of a gain when he mentioned Pearl Jam.
Right.
And McCartney, yeah.
Yeah, McCartney. The rest is just like people were talking amongst themselves.
They gave up on even paying attention.
Oh yeah.
See, we're just
Because there
wasn't
even booze. They weren't even annoyed enough to boo. They just said, fuck it, let's go get a beer.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say they probably wouldn't boo at a charity event like that. Like they might, but
Oh, they would. Madison Square Garden,
Maybe,
New York City. Come on. Let's. I want to hear how this clip. We have less than a minute left from that day, 6 months ago. Lorne Michaels should be ashamed today.
Okay.
Right when we kick back in, Opie comes up with another fucking cruise missile.
But see, the anger that day is because of you, Jimmy. Because I know where this all started.
yeah,
So I wasn't going to fucking, sit back on this one.
Wow.
Because Jimmy, I saw it in his face, the frustration that he felt like SNL was kind of ripping him off a little bit.
Yeah, not on that one,
or taken from him. No, I know, but I know it was this guy, in another skit. So this is where the venom's coming from, because I know how frustrated you were. You come up with this very original character. Next thing you know, it's sort of on SNL in a slightly different way.
fuck yeah.
And the writing stinks. Lorne Michaels should be ashamed today.
Probably is.
Well, he signed off on that, I'm sure. They probably went to him and said, look, you got a few minutes on this, this concert. What do you want to do?
Yeah.
And he had to be the one that said, let's do the drunk uncle thing.
Seth, do drunk uncle. Okay. You think even Seth Meyers was like, oh, God. They must have known, like, when they started, like, oh, boy, this isn't going well.
Sure, because he kept calling him drunk uncle.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
could
drunk uncle.
Oh, drunk uncle. Anything to have more Seth words and less drunk uncle words.
Like, oh, Chip, or oh, Uncle Paul. Yeah.
Uncle Paul would have been a great addition to
Oh,
this.
really? Yes.
It would have bombed, but at least it would have made this radio audience enjoy it.
That guy's on SNL, and we would never have him on this show. I would never have that guy.
Holy shit.
And if you're just tuning, you got to listen to the replay, because...
Oh, is that brutal? That was the worst thing that could have been said.
Dude, it's one gem after another.
I have to say, Opie was the most ruthless during this.
It was so mean.
This little deconstruction.
I was sticking up. I know where I was that day.
Wow.
I was sticking up for our pal Jim Norton.
Thank you.
I was very fucking mad because it was like 2 or 3 weeks in a row where we're like, "What is SNL doing?" They're biting off Jimmy a little bit, and then you say that on your radio show, and everyone's like, shut the fuck up." Like the SNL guys are listening to you. But then we have the connection. The guy turns out to be a huge fan of our show from back in the day.
This guy thinks that you're very talented, Opie.
Oh, my goodness.
And you said Lorne Michaels should be ashamed and that you would never have him on the show.
I love that. Like, I got to hear that line
Every
again.
line gets worse.
Because it's so bad.
Just when you think it's going to wrap up painlessly,
Yes,
the last 20 seconds are fucking atomic bombs.
Oh, God, that's so bad.
Could you imagine going through YouTube?
Knowing the guy knows us or whatever, likes what we do, makes it so much fun.
Imagine looking for like a funny clip, like you just want to laugh.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, my favorite radio show brought my name up.
Love this.
And then you click on it, and your favorite radio show is advocating for you to lose your job.
Right.
Says that they would never have you on as a guest.
No. Not funny, not entertaining.
Right. Just
oh, wow. This was bad. For Uncle Paul. Yeah.
Uncle Paul would have been a great addition to this.
Oh, really? Yes.
It would have bombed, but at least it would have made this radio audience enjoy it.
That guy's on SNL, and we would never have him on this show.
No.
I would never have that guy on.
Oof. Wow, that was really uncomfortable.
It's not good. Oh.
That's it. That's the end of the clip. Wow.
So that's Bobby Moynihan.
yeah.
And if you're just tuning in, listen to the replay, please. But basically, we found out that he's a huge fan, Sam is saying, of our show.
Sam did an interview with him.
And to his credit,
We're about to play that audio. It gets better now.
before the interview started, I was introduced to him. He was like, Sam Roberts, this will be on the Opie and Anthony channel. And then he immediately said he was a big fan, and immediately said, those guys, I found a clip of them on YouTube. They didn't like my 12-12-12 performance.
That like stuck in his head the most out of anything.
Sure.
All the going to our appearances or whatever, liking the show, listening, those moments where you knew where you were when you heard a certain bit and things like that, all went away, and he just remembers that.
Well, he has to know that that didn't do well. Like, as a performer, especially a guy like that who does live TV.
Jimmy.
No, I'm not even shit on him.
There's a difference between knowing you didn't do well and listening to people that you have admired over the years taking runny diarrhea shits on everything you hold dear.
Yeah, but in all honesty, he had to know in that moment. Like, I would love to ask him in that moment, how long into that did you realize we are in trouble?
Uh-oh.
Like, was it the first line, or is there something you... Because, like, as a stand-up, I'll do a bit, and I'm surprised if whatever line I've chosen as the opening line doesn't work, because it's usually a line I think is strong. So then I'll go into the second one, and when that doesn't work, sometimes you'll even jump ahead and pull out something that you know is a fucking punch. And when that doesn't work, you're like, sinkaroo.
You're in trouble.
I'm in Dutch. And I'm wondering with him...
when that moment was where,
was it after the opening song, or was it one line in?
where you just don't hear any fucking
talks about it
reaction.
in the clip.
Oh, good.
But why wouldn't you just acknowledge? I don't understand that. You're bombing so badly. Why would you just continue and try to get to the end of the bit? Wouldn't you just say, just blow up your spot?
Well, was he a stand-up or just a sketch guy?
He was not a stand-up.
See, a lot of times sketch guys are very... What makes them good is also what dooms them, is that they are married in that moment to the scene. And it's also why they do scenes well when they go well, because they don't break them.
Right.
It's only he only ever did sketch and improv.
Yeah.
All right. So yesterday he came in and Sam interviewed him.
That must have been comfortable.
That's when we learned that he was a fan of ours.
And I intended to kind of just ask him how that night went. I had no idea that it was going to be in this context.
Oh, wow. Okay. So here's the audio from yesterday, brand new audio, with Bobby Moynihan, who plays Drunk Uncle.
But I didn't know that you were a giant Opie and Anthony guy.
Yeah. I've been listening for years.
And we were talking, and you've heard their take on Drunk Uncle at the 12-12-12.
I think I found it on YouTube. I was just looking up Opie and Anthony stuff.
I can't do this. Did you hear the part where he said he's been listening for years?
Yeah.
Well, like I said earlier, we hear that a lot from celebrities, and then you realize they're just saying that.
Yeah.
I can always
just say that.
It
sounds like he's not.
He's 100% telling the truth.
Yeah.
Looking up Opie and Anthony stuff and saw my name.
For your
and was
pleasure. Like you're like, I just like to laugh.
Well, I just got serious again. I hadn't had it for a while, and then.
Can you pause? Can I tell you what I hate about Sam in this fucking interview? Sam knows that he's not guilty in this clip of anything. So he can pretty much just cheerlead and go, so what happened on the clip with Opie and Anthony? Because he knows he didn't say anything.
That's the beauty of Sam, though, man.
Yeah.
Troublemaker.
He's not going to hide. I love it.
No way.
That's what I like about Sam. He doesn't hide.
Why would he hide? He didn't say anything.
No.
No, but
I don't hide when I point out other people's murders. But if you rape somebody, I'd be happy to talk about it.
But you're like, I just like to laugh.
Well, I just got serious again. I hadn't had it for a while, and then started listening again and got back into it, and then was looking up stuff on YouTube and saw my name and was mortified. I was like, oh no, what have I done? But they were talking about I did the 12-12-12 concert as Drunk Uncle.
Yeah.
And it did not go very well.
What's it like to go up there?
What's it like to bomb at Madison Square Garden? Oh, it's the best.
Did you know that was going to happen though?
The second I walked in the door, I knew it might not have been the best idea.
So you're in the Drunk Uncle outfit.
Standing in the Drunk Uncle outfit. Chelsea Clinton is standing there. You look like an idiot. Every single rock god is in a room, and you have makeup on, and you're holding a fake drink. It was a wonderful thing to be a part of.
Of course.
But the lasting scar will last forever. Yeah, I found a video where they were bashing me. Opie and Anthony were bashing the performance, and rightfully so.
You found that.
I completely agree with everything they said. But that was a rough night.
Oh my God!
Yeah, he seems like a good dude. That really. But again, he knows you have to know. That's interesting. Stand next to Chelsea. The humiliation of knowing you have to go out. Like, that's fucking, oh my God, I don't belong here.
I cut the clip down just for our purposes, but he went on to talk about how the teleprompter just kept going and going, and he just wanted it to end. He was watching everybody just stand up and go to the bathroom, and he said it was horrible.
That's brutal, man.
Did he talk about, this is what I'd love to ask him, what the moment you finished and walked backstage, like who did you see and what were the? Because walking backstage after a shit
You
performance,
probably wouldn't make eye contact with anyone.
people just don't look at you, or
you look down.
well, they'll say, "Hey,
Walk
good
off.
job, it's great, man, great job." Or I'm wondering what people said to him. Did everybody ignore him? Did he get a picture with McCartney, or was he too ashamed?
Like the scene in Private Parts where Fart Man walks back and Ozzy goes,
Right.
"What a fucking asshole!"
Fucking asshole.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, that was
Ozzy
funny.
was in that.
Fuck. Jimmy, Jesus.
That was the shy Howard. When he comes back. Hello.
Yeah.
Hi. You fucking asshole.
I bet your drunk uncle had the same experience.
I'm sure he
Very
did.
similar to
Right.
that.
And he told me off the air. He described it. He described it in more detail off the air. I believe he said he was listening to you guys and wanted to tear his heart out of his chest.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
We got to get him on now.
Oh, we do.
Now we have to get him on. Even though we said we would never have him on.
No, you said that.
Oh, Opie, that was a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now there's a connection there. We got to have him on.
Well, yeah.
And I told him the secret. I was like, those guys will never talk badly about you again. If you go on and you say, "I heard when you made fun of me, you were right," it's the last time they'll ever say a bad word about you.
That's right.
So I think I think we're trying to get him for next week or something.
I wouldn't beat him up if he came in. No fucking way.
No.
Not with everything we've learned here today.
He's a talented guy.
I know what I'd probably say.
Chip.
Looks like you're sobered up. Fucking place will go nuts.
When?
After that. A little later.
After that.
Well,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, I'm officially now on his side. I'm in his camp. I'm
like
a
the
fan.
drunk uncle.
I'm a fan.
Yeah.
Here's
If they
all-
like us, we like them.
Yeah,
It's as easy as that.
Yeah.
And it's not like he's successful or anything. He's got SNL, but then he's also one of the main voices in the new Monsters Inc. movie.
Oh,
Is he
there you
really?
go.
Yeah.
It probably is successful.
Well, you know
You're
what?
right.
I saw the Drunk
Misjudged.
Uncle sketch in context on the Weekend Update on the show, and really, it wasn't. It wasn't that.
Way to smooth things over.
What are you
doing? You sound like your parents making up right now in 1972.
It works under the context of, oh my God, is he Guy Fieri?
And he does a great Guy Fieri.
Oh, let's hear his guy. You know what?
I wanna see
Let's try
that.
to turn this whole fucking thing
Come
around
on.
today.
Yeah.
If he does a great Guy Fieri and he makes fun of that whole rock and roll shit like we do, then we're all in with him. Maybe we just gotta, embrace a different character.
Maybe.
And see it, like Anthony said, in the proper context.
Right. All right. We're doing this cold. I've never heard his Guy Fieri.
Yeah,
So this could go really bad.
That's a commercial that they can't
Late.
load for 20 seconds.
Can't they load?
Yeah,
And then
even when they
we'll
can't load the commercial, you still have to sit here and wait.
He's got the flame shirt, the spiky blonde hair. Yeah.
He does have that.
Yeah.
Very deep voice.
And I guess he acts like Guy Fieri,
Yes, he
That's
does.
exactly right.
which is
Guy Fieri.
rocking.
Yeah.
Rock and roll.
Tomorrow, the New York Giants take on the New England Patriots in the Super Bowl.
That's this week.
All right. Here with some ideas on what to serve at your Super Bowl party is the Food Network's Guy Fieri.
Got the sunglasses in the back.
Seth Meyers cutting wires using pliers.
It rhymes. Guy, I'm excited for these recipes. Are you ready?
I was born crazy. Full throttle. Now, one of my favorite parts of any Super Bowl party is the finger ball foot food.
Oh, I think you mean football finger food.
Nope. I got it backwards on purpose, much like my sunglasses. Protect your neck.
All right. Yeah.
The key to Super Bowl food is having a theme. So what better way to get ready for the Giants versus the Pats than with a giant pat of butter?
Coming up at 9 o'clock, Elijah Wood.
Elijah Wood?
Yes.
Yes,
And I
Elijah
think
Wood.
Ricky Gervais is coming in today.
We think at 10 o'clock.
That's right. Stay there.
I have an
More Opie and
announcement.
Anthony.
Can I do an announcement?
Oh, sure.
It's a very special announcement.
Sure.
We'll get back to that in a second. Antisocial comedy tour is sold out.
Oh, good.
Amy, Artie, myself, and David Tell will be doing a second show July 20th.
Nice.
I saw Amy last night. She's looking rather lovely.
Sure.
And we have a billboard outside Lincoln Tunnel.
I know, you said that when she was in. the other
Nice.
day.
Oh, yeah.
Terrific.
I haven't driven by it yet.
That's amazing.
July 20th, 10 p.m. show has been added. This one will probably sell out at the Sands in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. So please come. And when we get back, maybe I could talk about my big acting thing last night.
Ah.
Jimmy got to act with an A-lister.
Don't say anything.
For real.
Oh, boy. I want to guess.
For real.
I want to guess.
And so did he.
Indeed.
Elijah Wood on the way. And, the Opie and Anthony podcast, the brand new episode is up there. People are loving the 8-track porn bit that we put on this week's podcast.
Yeah.
Doesn't that feature Patrice O'Neill?
Oh, yeah, it does.
So you get to hear some Patrice O'Neill, too,
That's
man.
good.
Just killing it when we went over the 8-track porn.
I haven't heard that in so long,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, that and Liberace's ex-lover, Scott Thorson, with his lies.
You all bought it hook, line, and sinker.
We did.
I know. We did.
I had a couple little suspicions, but then later that day I had a lot of suspicions about what he was saying.
Scott, do I make you happy? Would you come in my mouth?
Let's make out.
Looks like someone's up early.
That's not fucking...
My morning breath. Let me put that in my mouth with my morning breath.
Jesus.
I'll suck over my own morning breath. Big and unclipped and lumpy.
His lumpy fucking silicone cock.
Yeah, lumpy prick. It's a great name for someone.
Lumpy prick.
The
yeah.
Lumpy Pricks. Prix. We'll be here Tuesday. All right, why didn't I just let you go to break? Now I'm bombing.
And the Opie and Anthony Nugget, of course. This week it's butt plug, so go get the latest podcast. Opie and Anthony, the podcast, brand new episode every Wednesday.
Yeah.
When are we going to play the Guy Fieri impression?
We were...
The Opie and Anthony Show on Sirius XM.